Hello, everyone. This is Chattin with Chap, and I'm your host, Ginger Wade. And you can see I have lovely guests with me today, and I'm sure you've seen them before, and it won't be the last time because I love chatting with them. They are the best. So I have Sara with me here in person, and Ro in New Jersey. Hi, Ro.
Hey.
So today, everyone, is Giving Tuesday, and you are going to see me quite a few times today, and you will see Ro and Sara a few times today too. We just wanted to get on here and share with you all about CHAP and all about how you can be part of this amazing CHAP ministry and supporting people in this journey of homeschooling, which is challenging and rewarding and just a joy. So thank you for joining us today. And we're just going to start out with, I don't know, maybe what we love about CHAP. Can we do that? Can we start out with personally what we love best about CHAP, and then we'll just talk about CHAP. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
I can.
Okay.
So, CHAP. CHAP for me is encouragement. It is just where I find my people, where I feel seen and heard, where I know that there are others out there fighting the same fight, trying to disciple their children in the ways of the Lord and doing that through the education at home. And so I know I'm not the only weirdo out there. So CHAP offers this amazing community that we can all be a part of together, helping each other, giving each other advice like we often do on these shows, sharing what we've been through and gaining just the community around us. So that for me is the best thing about CHAP. It's the people.
Yay.
And
How
I
about you,
love
Ro?
about community. And that extends even out into New Jersey, because if you've lived or homeschooled in New Jersey for the most recent few years, there weren't a lot of local resources, right? We didn't have conferences, we didn't have a lot of opportunities for people to gather and learn or just grow together. But in that quiet space, CHAP showed up. And I remember the first time a girlfriend and I just drove 2.5 hours to get out to Lancaster. And we're like, we want this. We want to know that we're not the only two people in New Jersey homeschooling. We want to know that, there are people who are doing this. And in that quiet space, CHAP showed up and became that bridge, just standing in the gap when there wasn't much else at the time. And CHAP has been a source of encouragement through the weekly newsletters, through different blog posts, different videos like these, and just a steady support for families, again, not just in Pennsylvania, but beyond. I met people from Delaware there. I met someone from Maryland who drove out there. So, just people who want community. And I'll never forget one particular day. Ginger, I don't even think I told you this. It was a rough day for me, and everything just felt too much. And I reached out and I texted a few CHAP mentors, and people texted me right back, like, hey, I can talk this time, I can talk right now. And I ended up speaking to two moms, and a lot more texted me back, like, hey, but I was already good at the time. But I just wanted to share that kind of support and real life faith filled encouragement was so precious in that moment. And that's what community looks like in action, Sara. So I'm glad that you mentioned that word of community, because I definitely have felt it virtually and from afar. And you can find out more about mentors on the website. So I just think it's so awesome, the work that CHAP does. How about you, Ginger?
Wow, that is so good to hear, because the mentors was something that just came on in the last, I don't know, 4 years. And I don't know how many people know about it. So I'm very glad that you used it, Ro, and that you talked about it, because, man, sometimes that mentoring, that's the thing that makes you take the next step, right? Just someone who's been there and can encourage you and say, you can do this. Or even just to remind you, right, to look to Jesus, right? Have the perspective of looking to Jesus and not to yourself. So I'm so glad you shared that. I think back many years ago. I can't believe how many years ago it is now when we started going to CHAP. And it was life-changing for Steve and I. What was taught at the convention, we didn't hear anywhere else. And as I grew up in a Christian household, but really only got serious about it when I met Steve. And Steve didn't grow up Christian. And so he was, and you know, when we jump in, right? So we
Yeah.
encountered CHAP at a time when we were ready to soak it in and learn about it. And just the stuff we learned. And it wasn't just about education. It was about parenting. It was about marriage and keeping your marriage strong. And what's the biblical worldview on all of these things. And it was just so fundamental in our lives as believers, not just as homeschooling parents. So that is why, I mean, and God did that. God did that. Like, I didn't create this passion in me, and I didn't say, oh, CHAP is the thing, right? CHAP is the thing that's going to give me passion. God made it happen.
Yeah.
So that it's one of those things, like I say, I mean, there are some things that I know, and, you know, CHAP's part of shaping me into where I am now is part of what I know for sure, without a doubt. So for me, and I think for my husband too, it's just been fundamental.
Yeah.
Fundamental in our beliefs and stuff like that. So that's been great. So that's why I put on my chat pom-poms and my cheerleader outfit. And love to be here helping you guys who are watching. So let's talk about some of the things that CHAP does. So our mission and our purpose. So our purpose is helping generations to follow Christ in all of life, right? You might have heard it on the end of my podcast. It's my tagline. I usually tie it into our theme for the day, but that is got to be here like all the time. Like, we're following Christ in all of life. How are we doing that today? And then our mission as a ministry is to encourage, connect, equip, and protect those interested in homeschooling. And not only in Pennsylvania, but say over there with Roe, you know, we were encouraging Roe, and then Roe, Powerhouse, First Lady Roe is like getting New Jersey up and running again with a bunch of other determined, wonderful women. And that's the whole thing, right? Like multiplying. It's just amazing. So yeah, so that is the whole reason CHAP exists. So is there any of the things that we offer that you ladies would like to touch on for everyone in case they don't know?
Well, I can go ahead and do that. So as far as taking care of the legislative side of things, CHAP is a watchdog. CHAP is there making sure nothing's coming through Harrisburg that would negatively affect homeschool freedom in our state. And then we're also, because we're doing that here in Pennsylvania, that's helping to set standards for other states as well. And hopefully we are praying for New Jersey right now. They're going through a legislative battle. And that's why state organizations are so important. We need to all be united in what we say is actual homeschool freedom, not what our state governments are deciding that they should put regulation on us. So we want to make sure to continue CHAP's mission in providing that legislative watchdog, the people who are there, making sure nothing's going to sneak through, nothing is going to take away the freedoms that we have. And we would work toward even increasing the freedom that we have, because Pennsylvania is one of the most regulated states. So it is the first line of defense against attacks on our homeschool freedom. We are there, boots on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the other things that we offer, if you are not aware, is an amazing array of online support. So going along with the law stuff and just being aware of it, it's very important to read the law and be aware of what's going on. So homeschoolpennsylvania.org is the place where you can learn about it. So all the parts of the law are there. The plain language is there. There's explanations there. There's videos there. All the forms you need.
Yes.
And Rose sitting over there going, I don't need any of this stuff right now, but we'll get into that a little later today. We're going to be talking all about legislative things. But so that is an amazing resource for homeschoolers in Pennsylvania. You can go out there and get all the forms you need to be able to get yourself started with your homeschooling journey.
And can I just say one thing about using the forms on homeschoolpennsylvania.org? If all of us homeschoolers come united to the school districts with the same wording, the same forms, it's going to help eliminate a lot of that confusion, strengthen us as a whole. And we've already vetted these forms. We know that they are going to give you the the most freedom, the most wiggle room inside, still complying with just the law, nothing else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would absolutely recommend, if you aren't already using these forms, they're free, they're there for you. That's why we exist, to give you these resources. So get on homeschoolpennsylvania.org and get those forms.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned legislation, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that homeschool organizations like CHAP, they play such a vital role in the legislative watch. Like, you're the first ones to know when a proposal comes out. You're the first ones to know when there's an attack on our freedom. And I think it's so important because you're the boots on the ground who can help to mobilize people. You can send a blast out and say, hey, we need everyone at the state capitol. We need everyone to contact their legislators. So I think that's really important, because you help us to stay informed and connected. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the podcast. Of course, that's like one of the things that
Of course.
that's one of the things that they offer, right? Like, I can go on and say, okay, Ginger's talking about the Proverbs 31 woman. Let me tune into that. Okay, Ginger's over here talking about the law, and I have a friend who's moving to Pennsylvania. Let me share that video, right? Like, I understand that not everyone may have 25 to 35 minutes to listen to something, but if you just hop on, you would be amazed at how the Lord works, and you will just hear something that you need to hear in that moment, right? So, and if you don't get to come to some of the conventions, sometimes we interview them before and we just get a sneak peek, and you'll get so much from that short video. And other times we interview them after, and you hear from these amazing homeschool giants and veterans who've been there, done that, and moved on and are still coming back to help. So there is so much that you can get from the podcast. Like, we're pouring into you because we want to equip you. We know you can't come to a conference every single weekend, but if we can get some messaging out to you, whether it's an update or some kind of encouragement, that's the reason for the podcast.
Absolutely. So, and to go with that, we have lots of other social media support too. So we have those touch points constantly, scripture encouragements, events that are happening, free things that are happening throughout the state and even outside of the state. So we're constantly helping you, to encourage you and stuff. And in that way, also offering ourselves to you. Like, you can instant message us, you can, contact form us on our chaponline.com website. And we are there. That's, it's with the mentors that you mentioned earlier. We are here to support you. And of course, we're always looking to grow that team too. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about what CHAP does?
I feel like we hit it.
Yeah, what I would say though is, even with the mentors, like, if you feel like, I just started, I can't mentor someone, don't let the word make you feel like you have to be this person who's done it for 20 years. If you just started 2 weeks ago, you're 2 weeks ahead of the person who haven't started yet. So feel free to go in and share with people, I did this because I felt God calling me. I did this because the public system wasn't working for me. Like, your encouragement matters regardless of how much time you have.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The other thing, obviously, in-person events.
Yes.
We have in-person events for you
In-person
guys.
events. I think she was trying to make me say
That was hilarious.
So thank you for the obvious hint. So yes, we not only are virtual, we are in person. And I don't know about any of you, but in person is just saying, there's nothing to replace being together in person. There are other ways, like Rose said, if you can't, we have the other things. But if you can, and even if you don't think you can, June is a far way off. Start saving now, because it is an investment in you as a homeschool educator. And coming out to conventions specifically, for Jeremy and I, we have been doing it since we began. And the very first time, like Ginger, very similar story, we were hooked immediately, and we knew this was something we would prioritize, because it gives you that shot in the arm, that boost that you need to remind you of your why. Why are you doing this thing? This is a lifestyle. This is a mission. This is something that you can't continue to fight on the battlefield without being refreshed. So the in-person convention especially is that refreshment, that this is why you're doing it. Keep going. We're cheering you on. We're offering you the tools that you need to continue growing in your own homeschool, and then giving you also tools to be able to help others around you. And then we have other things. We have a capital day that we can come and gather at the Pennsylvania Capitol, which is one of the most
Gorgeous.
beautiful Capitol buildings in the country. And we have it right here in our home state. So come out and see that amazing building and gather with homeschoolers in person. Show our legislators we're here, we exist, we're real people. And our kids are well spoken and amazing to be around. And we're all socialized just fine.
Yeah, so this past year we did the Capitol Day, which we hadn't done for a long time. We also did the Midwinter Conference,
Yes.
which is such a wonderful time. Midwinter, I mean, isn't that the time you're like,
Oh.
so it's the best time to get together. And then we did the Whistle Stop Tour, which ventured out into the other half of the state to just to connect people. We're looking to connect
Woo.
everybody. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome. So
Train ride.
yes, and new things coming next year
Yes.
regarding those things. There are going to be a little bit of changes, but we are going to be going to more locations throughout the state
Yes.
to gather people together,
Mhm.
make connection, build relationship, get encouraged.
Yep. And I want to do a little
yeah.
plug. If you want CHAP in your community, reach out to us, because if there's a library, if there's a community room, if there's a space that we can come and encourage you in person somewhere in the state that, you know, you can't get to the Lancaster area every year, that's okay. We want to come to you. And if that's something that resonates with you as oh, I'd love to be a part of that. You want to go be a cheerleader for CHAP and go help other people understand what it is that we do and the services that we provide. We would love to have you come and join our team as well. So if you're thinking, oh, I would love to do something like that in my area, please reach out to us.
So, Ro, that makes me think it's Giving Tuesday. What's our favorite alliteration for Giving Tuesday? Do you remember? It's the 3 T's.
Time, treasure, talent.
And treasure and talent.
Time, treasure, and talent. It's my favorite. Well, Ro and I like have a little bit of a love. We're in love with alliteration and quippy little things, which I think there's a lot of speakers who love
Yes,
that. There's just something about alliteration that's great fun. So, time, talent, and treasure. So, God has given each of us all of these things. He's given us time. Every single one of us has some sort of talent or gifting. I mean, we're all made in the Imago Dei, and he is so vast and you know, of course, everything, but each of us is given a little bit, you know, to shine, right? And then he gives each of us treasure also in varying degrees according to his
Yes.
will and purpose, right? So let's talk about time and talent and ways that people could connect with CHAP maybe to share their time and talent. So we're volunteer. We're volunteer. Ro volunteers her time. I volunteer my time. Sara volunteers her time. So we run on volunteer steam. That is the power that makes CHAP go. So, and we are in such an amazing spot. The team is amazing. Everyone is just so dedicated and just making beautiful things happen.
Yeah. It's a family. It really is a family.
It is a family. We do trips together, you know, meetings and connections and stuff like that. And when we see each other, it's just like, oh, hey, you know,
Yes.
we were all at the training together in Texas. And I saw Ro broke her foot. So I was just sitting over there at our table, and I went over and it was great. And we got to hug and talk and you know, Ro's all coordinated with her knee
fun
scooter
scooter.
and her outfit. It's adorable. I mean, it's just, you know, and it's just this fun family atmosphere when we're together and we're, you know, all these things. It's so wonderful to work together. So let's talk about some ways that people can get connected. There's lots of different things that CHAP is doing and places we need help. But I mean, it could even be like Rose saw something and she's like, hey, I want to get connected with you guys. So Steve and I set up a meeting and we just talked.
Yeah.
Then we actually came up with a podcast, but it wasn't what we meant to talk about.
That was literally, oh, by the way, we spoke for an hour and Ginger was like, do you have any interest in doing like a podcast or a talk show? I'm like, sure. But you know, like I wanted to say something, like as you two were talking about like your first time going to CHAP and like how it not only blesses your homeschool, but also your marriage, I just started to think about a conversation my husband had with me because a lot of times people think volunteers are losing out because we don't understand servanthood. We get so much out of volunteering. Like, it's not that we're just like, we're giving all of our time, we're giving all of our efforts, and then we go home and we just like plop face down and like we're dead. Like, that's not what's happening. We're being rejuvenated, we're being equipped, we're being encouraged. Like, just like you said, Ginger, when we saw each other in Texas, it was like, oh my gosh, hi, like
Yeah.
we've made community, we've made friendships, and our relationship is not just we're recording a podcast. Like, we message each other all the time. We share book recommendations. I remember talking to Sara, and like she's giving me all these amazing ideas on things she does with her children. And like we're just talking about life in general. So you build relationships through servanthood. So don't feel like you're losing out. You actually gain so much more when you're serving. And even though so much of what CHAP does is volunteer based, things still cost money, right? So like we're not being paid to record this time right now. YouTube is not charging us to upload the video, but there are other things that cost money, right? It could be a newsletter subscription. It could be an ad that we need to do. It could be a training that we need to attend to make sure that we're up to date with what's going on. Like, there's so many fees across the board, and all that costs money. So sometimes we need to understand that the encouragement and the freedom, it's not free, right? Like someone is paying for something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So I hear some little angelic voices in the background.
Yeah, he went, I know.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knows.
So adorable. I love it. So yeah, so volunteer wise, some of the things that we need is background stuff right now. Like, we're really looking for some tech support, a web admin for our web pages.
If you have the Holy Spirit gift of technology,
Yes,
talk to us.
yes, administration, right? Creating registration pages.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound hard, but it can be a little tricky.
Yes.
Ask Jeremy.
There is an art to it.
There's an art to it. So for all of our events, we have a number of different events, and creating that type of thing, and a landing page and all that kind of stuff. All those techie online-y things, that we have going on. So we're also talking about possibly opening an online store for some fun chat merch. But
So yes, if you see these awesome mugs and you were like, I need a chat mug in my life, well, we would love to create something. And if that's already something that you know how to do, reach out to us, because that's what we're talking about. Something that you're already comfortable in, that you feel that God has gifted you, that you can then serve the homeschool community with. And with, like Rose said, with service, you gain family, community, you are strengthened, because you're ultimately doing this for the Lord. So this is something that we don't do in our own power. But yes, we would love to create t-shirts and all different kinds of things in an online store, so you can come to convention with all your merch, and we can all be representing together. It's just fun. Yes. So that's a dream and a goal of ours that we would love to
be really fun
to do. So yeah, that would be, if that rings your bell, let us know.
Yeah. And like Sara was saying earlier, we're really looking to build up teams of people who are comfortable going out and talking about CHAP and representing homeschoolers at events. It could be, Turning Point USA events. It could be something that's not necessarily homeschool related, but it could be homeschool related. We go out and we speak at libraries and stuff like that. So all about how to get started and what do I do with my toddler, whatever. So if you're willing to get out there and be part of the homeschool network and encouraging people, we're looking for folks to do that too, because Pennsylvania is a big state.
Oh, it's so big.
For us to drive out to, say, where Alicia is, our legislative coordinator, and do stuff out there, or in Erie or whatever, that is a lot of hours. So it's really best to build a big team that's all over the state.
Our ambassadors.
And that's what we are looking to do. So, or anything else. If nothing that we talked about, it sounds like but you still want to plug in, reach out to us. I'm sure that we can get you connected in some way.
So for convention, we're always looking for new volunteers to help out. Our convention team is fun. We have really created, the Lord has brought us. I can't say it's us. The Lord has brought us an amazing group of people that we work together with Zoom throughout the year. So it's not a lot of travel. It's the travel happens just during convention week. And then we get to be together and celebrate all the work that we've put in all along the way and then see it come to fruition in front of our eyes. So it is such a rewarding time, but we are looking for specific things right now. So if you are into organizing teams, we need a tear down and setup coordinator because we don't need to, it just runs more smoothly when we have a captain at the helm.
Go do this.
So if that is, if you are good at organizing a team, we can put you to work. And then also we're looking for the website design. So if you love to design websites, if you love to like plug things in and make it look snappy and great, we would love to use you for our convention website. And then we have a couple other little roles that we would, we're always looking for more people. And even the bigger roles, we need people to be coming alongside the ones who are already leading that so that when they're ready to move on, we're not leaving a wide open hole in our team. We have people that we're bringing alongside and training. So if you're afraid to step up and say, oh, well, I don't want to be in charge of everything, that's not what we want either. We want to bring you along and mentor you and create that relationship because relationship is what it's all about. So if you love to coordinate with sponsors and speakers and vendors and all of that stuff kind of gets you excited, we would love to have you join those teams as well. So there's going to be a place for you if you have any interest in the in-person convention, we could use you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I think, as you were talking about different roles, we're saying maybe you used to work in this area and you have that passion. Maybe you're just good at like using a Cricut machine or something, right?
Yes.
Even if you have none of those skills, but you're willing to learn something, like we can teach you how to upload a podcast. We can teach you how to do all the things. But I literally went to convention and there is no excuse for not volunteering. You can hold a sign that says, go that way. You can smile and say, welcome. You can open a door for someone in like a wheelchair or me on my scooter, right? Like there are so many things that you can do without having like a technical knowledge or a certain skill. You can be the person, would you like a mint? We can use anyone and everyone. So don't start to think about what you can't do. Just think about how can I be used? How can I be of service?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you've been with Chat from the beginning, you know what like Dee and I were like, I think this is the button. Like when you see our finger at the finger. We were just two moms trying to figure out how to use an iPhone and talk to you a little bit. So, it started out bumpy. Hopefully it's a little better now. But we just did it. We just said people need this thing. People need encouragement. And we have, encouraging spirits and we want to do it. So let's do it. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to try. And failure isn't a bad thing.
No.
God uses that too and grows us in it, and it's good. So if it doesn't work out, it's okay. We'll try something different.
Yeah.
It's all about learning and growing, because isn't life about learning? And isn't that what we're all
That's
about?
what we're doing.
Let's show our kids that we can learn and grow.
Yeah.
So if you have treasure that you would love to share, if time and talent, man, you're really booked, but treasure, you have got treasure you want to share. Well, CHAP, as you can see in all of the resources that we are sharing, provide quality resources for you out there. And a lot of what we do is that in Texas. How about it? Like all those connections we made at that training and stuff,
Yes.
there's a lot that happens to build the next year's offerings in that space. So like when you donate to that and encourage CHAP in that way, it just gives us energy and ability
Yes.
to keep on
The wind in our sails.
imagining and creating new things and training more people. So we have 3 funds at chaponline.com/donate. And the first one is called the Freedom Fund. And that is our basic fund for like all the things like convention, the events, all the online fees we have for using different servers and things like that. So that will cover all those types of basic things. We also have the Scholarship Fund, which if you've ever been to the convention, or if you've watched my podcast the past few years, I've interviewed our scholarship winners. 2 seniors are awarded scholarships every year for their continuing education in some way, whether it be college or whatever. So there's a fund for that if you want to help that. And then we also have the CHAP Foundation, which supports people who are going through a hard time.
Yeah.
So you could have had a fire in your home or a flood in your home, or someone lost a job, or you're going through a health crisis. And so you can donate to that fund, and that will enable us to support these folks through their times of trial. So we have been able to support a lot of people, and you will hear some stories from people later on today. I will be coming on live and reading some thank you notes for some folks that we gave grants to this year. And some folks are just really, really struggling. And it's really wonderful when we can say, yes, we can support you. We have the funds to give you some financial help so you can continue with your homeschooling journey. So
Yeah.
again, that is the CHAP Foundation. So those are the three things: the Freedom Fund, the Scholarship Fund, and the CHAP Foundation. All can be found at chaponline.com/donate.
Yeah. And it is the end of the year. This is the time when, if you've already know that you have certain amount of funds to allocate to donation, what else is a better cause than promoting and encouraging home education in Pennsylvania? I mean, I can't, there are some amazing causes out there, but this is also one of them. In the world that we live in, and the enemy is attacking, thinking about how he is weaving his way through the public education system and trying to discourage people who would be amazing home educators, but thinking they just can't do it. Your money can be put to good use for kingdom work. And this is the time of year when people are looking for where can I make a difference? And there are so many great causes out there, but we just want to let you know we're here too. And we are here to support homeschool freedom in Pennsylvania, to help you disciple your children, give you the tools and the encouragement, the wind in your sails, the things that you need to keep going. So it is certainly something worthy of your donation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
So before we wrap up, because we need to wrap up this episode, because we have another episode for later today. But I would be remiss if we did not say, Ro, tell everyone about Jersey, because I know there's people who are listening outside of the state of Pennsylvania, and you have done, and your friends, Barbara is amazing too, have done amazing things in New Jersey. So tell folks from New Jersey where they can reach you and what's going on there.
Sure. So Enjoy Homeschool New Jersey launched, and we are here to serve you. We want to protect your parental rights and your God-given right to educate and direct how your child is educated. So in June 2025, we had 3 bills. One was S 1796, where it was a registry bill. So, telling your children's name, their date of birth, and this would be publicly available. We went down to Trenton, our physical presence kind of showed that we were in opposition, and we also reached out to some of the senators prior to doing that. And before the hearing, the senator said it's been withdrawn. So we did not have to testify. We did not have to oppose. It was withdrawn. So that was a victory. What we didn't know is that once we got home, 2 other ones would be put in. So then there is a wellness check bill. That's where, and I'm saying that's where, a superintendent or a psychologist or someone designated by the school superintendent can do a wellness check. But it is so vague. We don't know what that means. Is this in your house? Is it in the school? Are they asking your children questions in private? Are you there? Like, we have no idea what that means. It's very vague. And I'm also like, so why do we have pediatricians if, the school is doing a wellness check? And then also there's a curriculum bill. This is the most egregious one of them all, because then now you have to align your standards. And it's not, here are 10 things, choose 5. It's, you have to align every single thing from teaching grief counseling to gender identity to like everything that the schools are being taught, you have to now do in your home, even though you've made a grand statement that you're not interested in aligning with the school. So that was very interesting. And then just 2 days ago, we had another one, which is a sports bill. And there's not a lot of language or text yet, but it's requiring districts to allow homeschoolers to participate. We are neutral, but if you want to know my personal advice, we don't want to have anything that's going to give a concession to introduce anything else. So
Yeah.
think about why you were called to homeschooling. And if it's not because you wanted your kid to be the next NFL giant or NBA, player, then maybe you don't need anything. So kind of going back to what you were saying, Sarah, in terms of the unity, the language that we're using is no new bills are necessary. Thank you, but no thank you. So you can reach us at www.enjoyhomeschoolnewjersey.org, all spelled out. I know it's long, but that's where we are on all.
Well, the Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania
That's
knows
pretty
what
long
we're
too.
talking about, which is why we always say CHAP. So, all right, ladies, I think that covers it for this portion of what we're going to talk about. Thank you so much, Ro, for sharing information about New Jersey. I want to make sure that people are aware because it's time for us to be connected. And guys, we're going to be on back later today to talk a little bit more in depth about this legislative stuff and what's going on. And this is really important.
Yeah.
It's really important for you to know what's going on and to stay connected with us. So thanks for joining us now. And we'll be back on later on in the day and we will fill you in on that kind of stuff. And otherwise, think CHAP when you're thinking Giving Tuesday, time, talent, and treasure. And we are dying to be connected with you and envelop you into our family.
Yeah.
Right. And make you part of the group, right?
Yes.
Part of the crowd.
Yes.
Right.
Come join us. It's nice over
Join
here.
us. It is nice over here.
It is nice. And Ginger, let me also say really quickly that Giving Tuesday is also about gratitude. So for those of you who have been giving constantly and consistently thinking about homeschool freedom and parental rights, we just want to say thank you to you. And your generosity keeps this work going. So it's
Yes.
also about taking a moment to look back and see how much we've accomplished and how far we've come. So we're just blessed by the work that CHAP's done, the podcast, the website, the events, the newsletters, all the things, the mentors. And I just encourage you to consider giving back today. Thank you so much for your heart and your partners and your partnership. And we just hope that you think about those 3 T's, your time, talent, and treasure, thinking about giving it back to us. Thank you.
All right, great. We'll see you a little bit later, everybody. Bye now.
Bye.